You alright? I'm YorkshireASMR, and this is Valheim. Here is the character I'm going to start Valheim with a very glorious beard that I could not grow in real life, and a similar long hair on the side, just like me, except he's way blonder. I have named this character Jorvik because Jorvik is the Danish name for York, Yorkshire. Well, that's the kind of relevance I was going for. So, Valheim takes place in a procedurally generated world. So here's two that I made. So one with me and Alison, me and some friends, but I'll make a new one for ASMR. My character's been ASMR-y. And we shall set off. Valheim is an action, adventure, survival kind of game. If you've played titles like Terraria, Green Hell, or Ark, Valheim is a blend of mechanics from all three. And there's something particularly comforting I find about this game. Right now, outside in the real world, there is or was a thunderstorm passing overhead. And that feeling you get when it's raining really hard and you wake up to hear it pattering against the windows, knowing that you're safe and cozy. There's a similar sensation I get playing this game. Long ago, the All-Father Odin united the worlds. He threw down his foes and cast them into the 10th world, then split the boughs that held their prison to the World Tree and left it to drift unanchored, a place of exile. For centuries this world slumbered uneasily, but it did not die. As glacial ages passed, kingdoms rose and fell out of sight of the gods. When Odin heard his enemies were growing once again in strength, he looked to Midgard and sent his Valkyries to scour the battlefields for the greatest of the warriors. Dead to the world, they would be born again in Valheim. And so here we are, much like my real world. This game world has a thunderstorm, and here a Valkyrie is pulling us into this great unknown. So a structure down there, illuminated by the light. This game uses a lot of low poly textures, which gives it a not too dissimilar from Minecraft feeling, but the difference is that a lot of work has been done to create impressive lighting and particle and texture effects. So here you can see there's a wet sheen on the low poly texture of the stone. We have water dripping off me as well because of the rain. And there's this fog that I can get my camera inside that just rests upon the grass. And there in the distance the sun is rising. And here I assume is Yggdrasil, the World Tree. This little fellow right here is Hygge, one of Odin's ravens. He's kind of like the Microsoft Clippy of this game, if you're old enough to know what that is. Hygge will come by and offer us information and clarify things when I, the user, experience something new for the first time. And let's see what he has to say. I am Hygge, sent here to guide you in your travels. The megaliths surrounding you are the sacrificial stones. They represent the Forsaken, which you must slay in order to ascend to Valhalla. So, unfortunately, I was such a successful warrior Odin needs my help. And before I can rest in the halls of Valhalla, I have to defeat these 5 great beasts, bosses, almost, like Terraria. These magical stones were scattered throughout the lands by Odin, as signposts pointing toward the ritual grounds of the Forsaken. If inspected closer, this one will reveal the summoning place of Yggdrasil, your first prey. He is a mighty beast, so you need to properly arm yourself before even attempting to defeat him. So, here we are. Here's the landing zone the Valkyrie took us in. So Yggdrasil's pretty close, but if we zoom out, this world is huge. So meadows, mountain, black forest. The other side of this mountain there is a black forest. A little bit of black forest there. No, this is all meadows. Meadows, relatively safe. Thank you, Hygge. And he will fly away and poof, he did nothing. So you might notice I picked up some stone and some branches. These are the first few basic building blocks. So I have my rack tunic I'm equipping, the stone and wood. And here are a few things I can build with those. But I need a few more resources. Hello again, Hygge. Most items must be crafted. However, due to your recent departure from Midgard, you'll have to recall the true shape of objects. Just pick things up, and it will all come back to you, I'm sure. My lesser brother, Munin, tells me one can fashion a stone axe out of wood and stone. So I might be recently deceased, but unfortunately, my memories did not come with me. So while as a warrior in the realm of Midgard, I may well have known how to build fancy halls and axes and weapons and tools. But now I'm just a little babby, newborn in the meadows. Oh, raspberries. Oh, there's some more. So, Valheim uses a skill system. So if I keep running around, I think you'll see it. Maybe if I jump. There we go. Skill improve, run. You found a snack. Consume it to improve your health and stamina. Be aware that before long you will grow hungry again. So try to have at least a couple of different meals ready. Like I said, he's very much the Microsoft Clippy. Trying to give you help and advice wherever you can. So yes, indeed, I did pick up some raspberries. So they provide 10 health, 20 stamina, and they last for 600 seconds. And here is my health, but my health is capped by how full my belly is. And similarly, as I run around, that yellow bar is my stamina bar. Again, capped by how full my belly is. Wrong button. So if I eat a raspberry, not much, but it has improved it. But does it give me stamina? Yeah, 20. Okay. So I don't immediately heal up. It'll take time. But either way, it's there. There's some boar over there. I don't know if I'm ready to fight some boar just yet. I am not armed. And if I wanted to try and eat more, you can't eat raspberries. So much like games where you can just stuff yourself full of the same thing over and over. Like Valheim. Which I think is an interesting design because of 2 reasons. I found some mushrooms. I could eat them too. And now my belly has 2 things in it. My health is higher. My stamina has more ticks. Ooh. A day got spooked. Not by me, I hope. So the interesting design around this food system. In other games, survival games especially, if you don't eat, you'll just die. And the game kind of forces you to engage with the eating mechanic by making you die if you don't eat. But in this, as you saw, my belly was empty. I was not dead. I had not realized my Steam is on. I need to go invisible. Let's hide out. Because I just got pinged on Steam, someone saw me playing this game. And I didn't realize that I was online. So, what was I saying? About the belly system. You don't die. Got a new iron flint here on the riverbed. Let's get some more stone. Yeah, you don't die if you don't eat, but you'll be at a disadvantage. So, you can theorize that there is only a positive to engaging in the survival mechanics of eating. There is no real negative because you're just at the same default point you started at. So that's a good way of encouraging your user to engage with the mechanics without the mechanics being annoying. And secondly, the interesting thing about the food design is that you're only allowed to eat one thing at a time. So I couldn't stuff myself on these strawberries and force myself to have the most highest I could get out of eating strawberries. I meant raspberries. So this way, the user is encouraged to find a variety of food sources, which means they're encouraged to explore more. So I saw there was deer, there's boar, I even saw some fish, and there were these weird lizards by the water. So, I am a Viking after all. Vikings notoriously ate meat. I guess a lot of people did in the Dark Ages. In fact, maybe not. I think it would be more hunter-gatherer societies, because farming became much more of a thing, and so meat became a rarity. A luxury, almost. So here's an ancient structure left behind by who knows who. A hunting stand, it looks like, to give you a view of this area. Oh, there's a creature over here that is not a boar, not a deer. It is a greyling, and I am not equipped to fight this. But he is near some raspberries, which I would rather like to take. Thank you. Okay, so we have 11 wood. We can make a stone axe. We can make a hammer. So I think I'll make a hammer first, for a reason. A meta reasons. Now, the hammer is a new tool that allows us to remember quite a lot of recipes about our old world. It brings tidings. With this tool you will raise mighty halls and towering fortifications. Start by building a workbench. This in turn will enable you to construct other things. Yes, this is good advice, and I appreciate it, Hygge. Sorry, Mr. Deer. Or Mrs. Deer, rather, as a doe. I am looking for more flint, as I have meta knowledge of being able to know deer, so I got so far into the water, and the top left there is hidden by this UI. I just realized I've been talking about the health mechanics in the bottom left, and my camera's in the way. So maybe if I move it ever so slightly, there you can see the raspberries flashing, because I need to eat more, and it is dissolving in my stomach. And now the mushroom is too. And my health, which was 20, became 37. So as I ate, again, the cap increases here, and I slowly, you'll see like +1 bounce off me as it heals me. See, it's rising. But as your stomach grows emptier, you'll go back down to the default of 20. So that is the thing I was talking about, and I can't get it back in the same spot I did before. Is that it? No. I think that's it. Whoops. Okay. So, more flint, please, and thank you. So the wet debuff. Being wet. Oh, I think there's a... Is that a mushroom? Yeah. Being wet will reduce your stamina regeneration rate. Makes sense. Pretty straightforward. So you are discouraged from getting in water too long, not least because you will need to swim, and much like Breath of the Wild, swimming costs stamina. So there's a little bit of a feedback loop by if you are wet, your stamina is not coming back as fast, and you're actively swimming and draining your stamina. So it could be a death sentence if you're not careful. There's a boar there. Boars can be easily startled and become quite aggressive. I need 10 wood. Oh. Well, I'll put my hammer away and go back to punching saplings, which feels a little mean. They are, after all, just baby trees. As you can see, my skill in the knowledge is training because I am using my punching skill against trees, which you'd think would hurt my fists, but apparently not. Okay, so I have 15. Enough to build myself a workbench. And I will place it here. And now we've unlocked a lot of new recipes. The workbench allows you to craft complex items, as well as giving you access to lots more building pieces to construct with the hammer. Oh dear. Excuse me, sir. I'm trying to talk to Hygge. It's Greylings. One of the easiest enemies in the game. They live in the meadows, which makes the meadows not so dangerous, but they are, in some small way, a threat. Alone, they'll probably not give you too much trouble, but if you allow them to swarm you, you may be in for a surprise. So here, the workbench, it needs a roof, so I think I will have to give it just a little quick lean-to. There's a very, very nice building snapping system. Ah, I see now, there's a problem. So, I don't have enough wood. And I know this is from a world gone. I could fix it up, I could use it for my own ends, but I think I will cannibalize it for wood. So the building system in this game has a very neat feature in that if you've built something and you change your mind, you get all the resources back. And in this instance, this is giving me the benefit of cannibalizing that entire structure for quite a lot of wood to complete my lean-to. I think I'll go with 26 to give it a bit more coverage. Station is too exposed. I find that hard to believe, sir. Can we try and get you right in there? Oh, come off it. Gotta give you even more coverage. How about that? Acceptable. So I've been using my hammer, and this line here is the durability, which has reduced. And here, not very well described to you, that will be a knock I could give to this UI. This is how you repair items. Now, it's free to repair, which is nice, but not immediately obvious. So the reason I didn't build a stone axe is because I knew if I got enough flint, which I thankfully did, I could build a flint axe, which is just a little bit sharper. See, 20. 15. Minor increase, but it allows me to save the stone for other things, such as the hoe, which will allow me to flatten the ground. I'll put that over there because I do not need it just yet. So it's getting darker, and we have not really gotten any closer to setting up a structure. Oh, Hygge has something to say to us. Oh, so I tried to chop my first tree and I gained a new skill. Yeah, a hoe is useful for creating a flat ground for you to build on, making things a little easier. But I think what we will do is we will collect a fair amount of wood. Now, chopping in this game is no small feat. It can be dangerous. This food here is as close as I get. If you're not careful, luck could land on you, and especially when we're a little babby new person. A tree can outright kill you in one hit, as I have no armor. I'm already level 6 woodcutting. Now the neat thing about woodcutting and using an axe is that here in our skills tab you can see my axes and my woodcutting. Right now my axe is 0, my woodcutting is 6, but if I keep chopping trees, if I keep going at it, I might be able to get some skill in the combat axe. Ooh. Very nearly landed on me. And, much to my credit, I managed to do a double felling. This Greyling is not happy with me. I got some beech seeds. I will not need those just yet. Ah, there we go, axe is 1. So this is a bit more labor intensive, and here you can see there's like quite a bit of survival mechanics to this, where you need to do a little bit of grind mechanics to get the resources you need to build what you want to build. So here, my little lean-to, which is neighbored by some possibly very angry boars, which is worrying. I will just do a little close up. Just so I can get, oh, see, I accidentally built that, but I lost nothing. I think I just saw the boar running at me. So I will try and close up as soon as possible. You feel cold. So cold, much like stamina, wet, is a stamina debuff. So I need to make sure I can build myself a fire and get warm up. And this game, rather than having some kind of system where you can set fire to your environment, I think you can tell us actually. So, not a very good house, but it's enough in a pinch. You're wet, you also from being cold. This reduces your stamina regeneration. Seeking shelter by an open flame is your best option. This happens. Alright, so he didn't tell us, but you can see there's smoke rising. So, me allowing these holes here helps me from being completely suffocated by the smoke. I say that. It's not good enough. Okay, so we have to come up with some kind of solution to allow the smoke to get out of our house. A hut, rather. So what I will do is I will build a small outcrop here and put this on first. And there we have it. Quick little chimney. Not amazing, but it's serving us right now. Look at that. We are no longer, whoops, we are no longer being suffocated. And last but not least, we need to sleep. Even though we're sleeping, you can run out of my bed, huh? Sleep the night away in your bed and awaken feeling refreshed and full of energy. Another improvement to your home would be some chests where you can store items. It is good practice to always have spare equipment if something unfortunate happened to you while exploring. Oops. Okay, it's dangerous to stand by my workbench, but if I sleep the night away, maybe it won't be a big deal. You stand at the prow of a leaping ship, the salt spray before you, and the joyful shriek of the gulls above. Followed within a dream, you remember what it is to be alive in the land of your birth. Okay. So, it is a new dawn, a new day. And smoke is still, oh dear, and I'm greeted this morning by my neighbor, Mr. Boar, and Mr. Boar is not happy. Ow. But my slash damage allows me to reap the rewards. So I got some other scraps. Look how many new things I found. A raft. So I'll keep my house there for now and go back chopping wood. I think I will head somewhere a little bit more picturesque where I will settle down for my Valheim. Not quite retirement, but so you know what I said about chopping trees? It's dangerous. And I got too cocky. Fortunately, I set a spawn point while sleeping in my bed, although I would just spawn in that stone circle, so it's not the end of the world. And now I'm naked, and Mr. Boar heard about Mr. Boar's demise, and he is not happy with me. You're in a very, very cute oak tree, and I can't quite talk to you. Each time you're struck down, you'll forget a small part of your your abilities, and drop your belongings at the sites of the accident. If you wish you were home by now, I'd recommend building a bed, wherever a bed may be. Leave me alone, sir. I might die again. What is my... oh. So, thankfully, although I did lose some skills, I get all my stuff back. Ooh. I had to re-equip my tunic, and he's using an opportunity to bully me. Then again, I did kill his friend. All of the scraps. Corpse run. So I think that gives me extra speed while dead, well, after dying. No skill drain means that if I keep dying in quick succession, there is a cap on how much skill I lose each time, which is a nice way to ensure that it's not like a cycle of you eventually becoming, or going back to rather, square one. So I don't remember how much I need, but I will look for some flint. Get some wood while I see it. I realize now that there might be music playing, and I thought I had turned it off. That is not good. I thought I turned it off this entire time. All of the scraps. So Boar can actually drop more than just leather scraps, but we haven't seen the other item yet. Or the other two items rather. 3 flint. I'm not sure how much flint I need, but I'm gonna guess it might be 5 or 6 to build the spear. Spear is what I'm looking for. Ah, see, I'm now wet. Because I had to go so far into the water. Ah, well. And you can see that as I'm moving around, I'm also exploring the map. The very little area I've moved around in. I stayed very close to where I started. Which is fine. This game, you can put in as little or as much as you want. There are 5 bosses. There is an early access, so I'm not sure how far you can go to get those 5 bosses. Oh, there's a structure there. But I will say that I have spent between 30 and 40 hours and I have not been bored. There has been a lot to do, and I've only come across one biome that isn't done yet. Oh, excuse me, sir. So there's already quite a bit of content packed into this game, which is fantastic. You know, this is a rather nice spot actually. You're on the water. It's somewhat defensible. Should I stay here? Whoops. I don't know about having the thing on this side, but if I could maybe expand this a bit, I think I would build it a little bit differently. So the fog creates a very atmospheric experience for you to enjoy. And my PC unfortunately is not the newest, and it's a very light game. It's only 1 GB, but unfortunately my PC seems to be stuttering here and there. Oh, I see something in the right. So there are like this structures from others before me who may have come here and may have moved on. Yeah, there's a lot of mushrooms because I realize I haven't eaten today. Let's eat some raspberries. Wow, there's a lot of mushrooms. And this looks like it used to be a farm. Excuse me, sir. Can I interest you in the work of my axe? Ow. Aha. We killed the neck, but it did not drop anything for us. Which is a shame. I'm getting stuck. Okay, well I think for a place we want to build, we would like it to be in an area that is quite open and already somewhat flat. Is it Rootstown? Give thanks to Frey for the rain and sun, for the shoots that break the earth's skin, and the fruits of the vine. Give thanks to Odin for the flesh and bone, the smoke from the cooking fire, the warm pelt, and the strength of your arm. It's very nice. You know what? I'm just going to go home to my temporary home and enlarge it into a more permanent home, because I am particularly fond of oak trees, and I was right next to an oak tree. I'm not sure why. I just, oh dear, he ran at me, and you might have noticed that every time I swing, it costs me stamina, and I was out of stamina because I was sprinting, so I was not particularly. Oh, a necktail from the little lizard, and I can cook it. Yeah, oak trees. I don't know. I just find them quite nice. I don't know how to describe it. Where the grass grows underfoot and the sky is blue overhead, there will always be a hearth and a home. Or maybe I should build here at the top of this hill. Maybe that's a better spot. It's not too far away. There's always the first conundrum in games like this: where to build. Oh, I do see a boar, and I would like to kill the boar. He hasn't seen me yet, which is what that symbol means above it. he is listening and aware. But me sneaking is costing me stamina. But it is improving my sneak. Oh, he was alerted. Come back here. There we go. Aha! Raw meat. Now we're cooking. Well, quite literally, I would like to cook it. Yeah, this is quite flat. Maybe around here. I'm just endlessly harvesting wood. How much have I got? Oh, got a bit. I think this might be a good spot to start, even though I was talking so much about the oak tree. So I'm using my hoe to flatten the ground as best I can, although it doesn't look very flat, does it? It's quite hard to do. But it's using my stamina to do so. And I do not have unlimited stamina. I think this should be good for now. So I will build a crafting station just out of the way, and I will start building my foundation. So we probably want to make like a hole of some kind. So, oh dear. It's in the earth. Not great. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. Oh dear, oh dear. New plan. I start from the area that is higher. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's a building system in this game where it doesn't quite use weight. What instead it does is it creates foundational pieces. So this is blue, which means it's a foundational piece. It's touching the earth, and as it goes along, this is not touching the earth, but it is touching a foundation piece, which is green, which means it can support quite a bit of further pieces. And this is connected to this, and now it's like a yellow. It can't support many more pieces, so it gives you like limitations of like how high you can build. So this is, let's see, it's getting quite red. So if I put this here, it's now green again because it's touching a foundation piece. It's quite a neat system. It doesn't have to use much calculation in terms of weight. Instead, the onus is put on just pieces and whether or not they touch the ground. And then just for good measure, no, actually I don't think it needs it. See, I've already exhausted quite a lot of my wood just building this, which is, oh, I didn't mean to get my torch out. I'll put it away. So my intent with this video was just to explore the early game, build a little hut with mud poking through, but I'm already out of wood, which is not good. Not good for the wood. So I could cannibalize my old area, or instead I could just run over here and chop some trees. I've got some raspberries while I'm at it, which reminds me, you can't see it, because of my face, but I need to eat. So let's get some beech trees down. You see, that is a birch tree, which does look different to this tree. But if I try to go into it and too hard, my poor flint is not strong enough. Alright, have I learned my lesson? Or will I die immediately? I died so fast. It's a good thing I had mentioned it earlier, because it was a good example of how this game is... It's not easy. Like, it's fairly straightforward, but it can catch you unawares. I realize I'm moving around the microphone as I adjust my standing position, because I'm using my standing desk right now, in case you can't tell. Alright. 28. I mean, it cost me like a lot of wood just to build my foundation. Not that I necessarily need the foundation, but I thought it would help me plan it a bit better. Because I want room for my bed, I want room for a fire, I want room for a crafting station, and I want room to not suffocate while using said fire. So I think what I'll do is I'll put the fire in the middle and build a chimney coming out of it. What do you think? Or should I build it on the side? Okay. So, I now have an issue where I could run all the way back, but I'm kind of lazy, so instead I will run over here. I will break this down really quickly, and I will craft a quick cover. Do I want it this tall? I probably don't need it to be that tall. Yeah, I'm gonna make it tall. Because the same amount of wood. I don't want it to be claustrophobic. Although, that can be cozy sometimes. Too exposed. I didn't learn my lesson. How about that? What? I disagree. Maybe if I move you. There's no way you're too exposed. You're right under the... I need to put a floor here just so I can stand. I disagree about it being exposed. I disagree wholeheartedly. Okay, so now if we build you here. How is it exposed? What did I do last time? So you saw that I deleted these three. Those three had no support, so they automatically disappeared. I think I did just these. I did it again, maybe. You know what's really annoying is that if I'd gone back to my actual house, I'd have done it by now. I don't like being proved to be wrong. Oh well. I'll punch a log. Oh, you can't punch logs. Well, it's a good thing I left my little starter shack up and running. Even though it's quite drafty. I mean, look at the hole there. It has its uses. And you know what? While I'm here, let's cannibalize it. I say, if I just said, what a good idea for me to leave it up. It is getting dark, but I think it costs you stamina to do what I was doing. So you can only build and destroy stuff while you have the crafting bench. So if I destroy the crafting bench first, I would have been out of luck. Come here. There we go. I realized I should have maybe made the spear while I was there. I'm not really thinking too far ahead. I'm just playing this game. I like this game a lot. Like I said, me and some friends, and my wife especially, have played quite a lot of this game in the past week or so. We have progressed through 2 of the bosses, only 2, and I feel like there's quite a lot of stuff left to explore and do. And something that Alison and I did yesterday was we built a meat hole. You don't need a meat hole in this game. You pretty much just need a structure to sleep and store your stuff, but the tools are there, and the game slightly encourages you to have fun with construction. So if you would like to be the architect of your group, or just by yourself, this game caters to that. And I keep mentioning it because I like it so much. Oh, my weight limit is full. The idea of allowing you to get the full resources back after destroying a structure is really nice. It's so user-friendly. There's no real negative to being inventive and trying new things out, because the game doesn't punish you for it. Okay, let's try this again. This time with gusto. You know, I did 5 by 4. Yeah, okay, well, if needs be, we can just redesign. Is that good enough? No, it's good enough. A flint spear. I think we will take that. All the better to hunt with. Do we need anything else? No, I think we're good right now. But we do need to try and finish our house so we can sleep in it. And I have been so ambitious with the size of my house that I might struggle to go to sleep in here. And I'm cold. And my guy is actually technically hungry. Put a corner pot there, and a corner spot there. How can we best? We have quite a bit of wood left, but I need to make sure I have room for a fire. And I haven't quite figured out in my head the best way of making a fire. See, if I made it 5, it might look a bit better. If I put a fire there, So fire will have to be on the ground. So, oops. I do this, this, and this. I'm somewhat nearly done. Okay, that's not going well. So I have a few holes up there, but I worry it won't be enough. So what I wanted to do, before I do anything else, I will build a bed before I run out of wood. Doesn't look great. I'm not super pleased with it yet, but I've done it a few times now. If you're not happy with it, you're more than able to tinker, play around, make it to your liking. So if I do like a reverse, how would that look? Like that, and then like that. How's that? What do you reckon? I think this bit is still a bit exposed, so maybe like that. Or maybe I do a full wall there, like that. I'm still not convinced by these bits there. I guess that's good enough if I just put a little beam in there to help support it. And then, how much wood do I have left? Absolutely none. Great. So I am cold, but I would like to put a few finishing touches. So how much wood did we get? 7. I think that's enough. Because I think this might be a good spot to try and call my video. So I do need my drafty. I have 1 wood left, so I can't complete this side. I need to get some more wood. Okay, let's very quickly chop down a tree. So, this last portion of the video, I haven't really been talking very much because I've been so focused on getting my house together. I've only really shown you some of the more basic mechanics. That log nearly hit my house. But these are the mechanics that you start out with and are in your face. But, I mean, as I showed you, the world is huge. And here, I've kind of alluded to the fact that there is meadows, mountain, black forest. There are several biomes to discover. Granted, you need to prepare yourself for the biomes, and killing the bosses is one way to ensure progression. So, the game has a design in which there is, much like open-ended games like Minecraft, there is an open-ended goal. You can do whatever you want, provided you find the materials necessary to do so. And the meta kind of game is the aspect of killing the bosses and making your way to Valhalla. Maybe you don't want to leave Valheim, maybe you make Valheim your home. But either way, the option is there. And if you do want to explore everything the game has to offer, killing the bosses is a surefire way. Did I use the wrong one? It doesn't quite look right. Oh, I was not putting it in properly. Yeah, killing the bosses is a surefire way to find this progression yourself. I just want to cover it a bit more so it looks a bit... Actually looks pretty good. Not the best home by any means. Not at all, but it's a start. I have a big patch of ground that I will cover up just for the sake of this video, so I can call my house version 1 complete. And now I'm crouching, but I will sit down next to my fire and wish you a good night, or a good morning, or a good afternoon. I hope you enjoyed my foray into Valheim. If you do like Valheim, I recommend getting it, even though it is in early access. The publisher, not the developer, but the publisher behind this, Coffee Stain Studios, also published Deep Rock Galactic, which is another indie game with similar low poly graphics that I really enjoyed throughout early access and into release, and I think they did a great job of following through with their promises. So I have high hopes that Coffee Stain Studios will hold Coffee Stain Games will hold Hygge Studios, the developer behind Valheim, to their promises. And even then, thus far, like I said, 20 to 30 hours. The game cost $20, so to me, that's like less than $1 per minute of enjoyment, and I have enjoyed this game a lot. a lot. And I find that there's a Hygge, the Swedish, I want to say Swedish, the Swedish word for like that kind of, like I said in the video, the rain pattering on the window, kind of content and enjoyment in small simple things. Like right now, my Viking Jorvik is just sat by his fire, making himself warm, enjoying himself after a hard day's work. And look at these lighting effects. It's so cozy. And there's a bit of wood sticking out of my roof because I destroyed something. Ah! No! Way to end the video. I will just set up one last thing before I say a true good night, because we have been able to do it. Here we are. Boar meat, neck meat. And I will be able to reward Jorvik with a good hearty meal. I realised I've already said goodbye, but I'm going to pop back in with one last mechanic. You see in the top here, my meat good. The grilled necktail got done cooking. And the cooked meat. I'm going to eat both. You can't quite see it because of the camera, but I will try and show you. Look how high it's got from these two things. I have so much potential health to have. Ooh, look at that big chunk. So, meat is definitely the way to go. Anyway, so if you're sitting, relaxing inside shelter with a fire, you can build a buff called Rested, and depending on how furnished your location is, right now not very furnished, but I have comfort level 4. It gives me 11 minutes of a buff called Rested, and this will give me some benefits. You can't sleep at this time. Okay, well, no, I don't want to sit down. That was a mistake. I had to fix my door, but there we are. Jorvik's first true home in the meadows of Valheim. The sun is rising on a new day where you can set your own goals, build the meat halls of your dreams, and just have a lovely good time. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you would like to see me play more Valheim, let me know. Otherwise, I think my next video will be going back to Breath of the Wild, and I will finish the plateau. And once again, talk about more design as best I can. Sun rising. You know what? I'm gonna go stand over by my hut. Ah, it's beautiful. These rays. Should I get it? Nah, sun's on this side. There we are. You can barely even see me. What a lovely day. Alright, I'll stop there. Good night and goodbye. You're right. My mom's friend.